Inspector Ken Thrower, Commander of the Traffic Section, Calgary Police. As a result of investigation by the Collision Reconstruction Unit, with assistance from the Homicide Unit and the Central GIU, the Calgary Police Service has charged one man in relation to a gas drive-off hit and run that killed one person. At approximately 11 a.m. on Sunday, June 7, 2015, a stolen 26 Ford Super Duty pickup truck committed a gas drive-off. The gas station at 1700 block 16th Avenue Northwest. The Ford headed westbound on 16th Avenue and pulled into a parking lot approximately 1 block west of that location. Ashtiana Rashidi, also known as Maryam, 35-year-old female employee of the gas station, tracked down the Ford in the parking lot. At this time, she tried to prevent it from driving off by standing in front of this vehicle. The Ford struck her as it exited the parking lot and carried her on the hood for approximately 15 meters. Rashidi was thrown off the hood of the vehicle and subsequently ran over by the Ford as it fled the scene. Rashidi was transported to the hospital in critical condition, where she passed away yesterday. The tips from the public led to the recovery of the abandoned vehicle on the evening of Monday, June 8, 2015, from the 3800 block of Vancouver Crescent, Northwest in Calgary. The vehicle is currently being under examination for forensics and mechanical evidence. At approximately 8 p.m. yesterday, Tuesday, June 9, 2015, information led the officers to the home in the Beddington area where the two suspects were located. Following direction from the Crown's office, no charges were laid against the 16-year-old male identified as a passenger in the vehicle. The driver was arrested at the same time at the same location. He is a 20-year-old male from Calgary. It is anticipated he will be charged with the following once he appears before the Justice of the Peace, probably later tonight: criminal negligence causing death, hit and run causing death, dangerous driving causing death, possession of a stolen property over $5,000, and theft. Further charges may be laid. His name will be released following his court appearance. The Calgary Police Service would like to thank the public and the media for their assistance in this tragedy.
We know that you've involved the Homicide Unit and that you consulted with the Crown, but what can you tell us about what went into deciding on those charges versus stronger homicide-related charges?
Well, again, the Crown was consultation of the evidence that they had. The appropriate charges they believe was to go with the criminal negligence causing death. That was the charge they believe will meet the circumstances and best evidence in court at this time.
So what can you say about sort of the maximum penalties for these charges?
When you look at the maximum penalties, criminal negligence causing death versus manslaughter, they're pretty much the same. It is a maximum life for crim neg causing death. Hit and run causing death, again, maximum is life. Dangerous driving causing death, maximum 14 years. Possession of stolen property over $5,000 is a maximum of 10 years. And theft under $5,000, maximum of 2 years.
What can you say about the relationship between the 16-year-old and the 20-year-old? Are they brothers?
That I don't know. I just believe they're friends.
And what was going on yesterday when you were trying to get this person out of the house for 3 hours? And what did it eventually take?
Basically, information with the police had information that both suspects were at this house. The younger one came out early right away. The second one stayed in the house until the Calgary Police set up outside with tactical unit and a negotiator, and with the blowhorn they called him, and eventually he came out.
Ken, can you elaborate a little bit more on what led you to the home?
Throughout this investigation, there's a couple key parts. The media, of course, everyone that's in front of us, and the public at large. Numerous people called in, giving us information to where, number one, the vehicle was located, number two, where the suspects were located. So at this time, that's the best I can tell you about that, but it was information from the public that was crucial in this investigation leading us to where they were.
Can you tell us, is this 20-year-old have further involvement with police previously?
Yes.
In the same kind of a thing, like stolen vehicles?
I'm not at liberty to get in all the details in there, but this person is not new to the police with his activities.
Is that Calgary Police or the
Yes.
vehicle stolen in Air Juice?
Yeah, Calgary Police.
Calgary Police.
Can you elaborate on why the younger man or the 16-year-old who
wasn't determined to, really have any involvement and be charged with this as well?
Again, with the consultation with the Crown, it was determined, best evidence that this person, keep in mind, both accused were cooperative with their interviews. So part of that is the reason with the younger person, plus in law with this person given the KGB statement, and it was best thought that no charges at this time laid against this individual. And keep in mind, the investigation is still continuing. We're still looking at forensics on the vehicles, on that vehicle, sorry, and the vehicle had been away for a while, so again, we're still looking at the investigation to find out where they've been, if there was anything else that may arise from the investigation. So right now, at this point in time, these are the charges, but there may be more charges down the road as the investigation unravels.
Is there any investigation happening at the gas station? Like, a lot of people have said that the gas station would make employees pay if there was somebody who would take off. Is there any indication of that?
There's no indication of that.
Can you just give a comment on how this went from a possible theft over, theft under case to something much more serious with somebody, who's died here?
Well, I mean, the facts kind of show you an individual, Rashidi, who, I think, absolutely tragedy. She put her life obviously out there. Her life was taken, and, she saw something that was wrong, someone breaking the law or individuals, and she was trying to prevent a continuation of that or stop them. And who knows what would have happened if she didn't, but she took it upon herself for whatever reason, we'll never know because we won't have a chance to talk to her, unfortunately. And she basically went and tried to stop this vehicle. And by doing that, she put herself in grave danger, trying to prevent this crime. Not sure what was going through her mind at the time, except, hey, something's wrong. I'm going to do something about it as a citizen of, Calgary community. And put herself at risk. And obviously, tragically, she was ran over and killed and passed away later on.
Is there a bit of a message?
Relief to police? Like,
Pardon?
do these charges come as a relief to police? These suspects are at large now. At least one has been charges pending.
Absolutely. I mean, do you want these two to be still on the street? And that was one of the biggest fears I think that everyone had, all the citizens and the police, is, what else these people may do. Now that you've done this, you're scared. Who knows what's going to happen? Could it result in a chase? Could it result in who knows what? And the biggest thing was to try and find these individuals as soon as we can, get them into custody so they can't create any more tragedy on the street out there. Because, again, I'm not privy to the interviews or what was said in there or what these two are up to. But again, as the investigation continues, that may change.
And
So
just
just
to
over a very
clarify,
small-
you can't say that the 16-year-old will not be charged with anything at this point?
All I can say for sure at this time, with the Crown's approval, no charges laid at this time. But again, keep in mind the investigation is continuing, so there could be some more developments in this. It all depends on what is uncovered.
I also noticed that it's possession of property over $5,000. I presume that that's the truck, not theft of. Are you thinking that this person didn't actually steal the truck, or what's the situation there with the actual theft of the truck?
No, we believe that he stole the truck, yes.
Is there a message to people who, what I was trying to get at with my last question was, this started out as a theft. Is there a message to people
Well,
about how quickly these things can escalate?
Well, and that's, obviously it was a split second decision for her to make that decision to run out there. And you know what, people react when they're under pressure and things happen. And, in this case here, really, let the police, call the police. You don't want to put yourself in danger. And here, this is the worst case scenario where she lost her life over this. So this is something that, we don't want the citizens to take it upon themselves to do that. In this case, she did. And unfortunately, obviously it went terribly wrong.
Looks like these guys gassed up several times. Any indication of why they stole the truck, what they were using it for? Seems like a lot of driving.
Again, that was to be determined with the investigation that's continuing. Like I said, I'm not privy to what was said in the interview. So again, it continues. Yes.
Can you elaborate on the scope of the investigation? It was fairly high profile, a lot of public outcry. Did the police dedicate any extra resources to finding these two?
Well, this one here right off the bat, with our entire traffic section and the recon unit hit and run section of that part, right away we got a hold of the centralized detective area, and got some detectives on this right away. Again, it was out to the description of the vehicle citywide to all police officers and any police agencies. And then we consulted with the homicide detectives that day on the Sunday just to kind of tee things up because we knew the severity of this case and the situation. We didn't really want to leave any stones unturned, any T's not crossed, and really get as much resources behind this, obviously to, get a conviction in court, but obviously to get these people off this street, because this situation happened, and one thing we didn't want to do is see this happen again or anything else happen to anyone in anywhere, wherever they would have went.
Ken, during the negotiation to get the person out of the house, is there any cause of concern about other, because obviously those evacuations around the home, were there any concern about the safety of those homes or the person in the house? Is there any concern?
Not to my knowledge.
What was the relationship between them and that home?
That I don't know.
Can you tell us how the vehicle was stolen? Was it maybe keys? Is there anything we can tell us about that?
Well, the keys were not left in it. The vehicle was parked in Airdrie on the street, and they got into it, and so it wasn't negligence from the owners.
How many incidents of gas theft were they charged with then? Or do you think that they'll be charged with them?
Right now, it's suspected that there's 3, but there could be more, again, as the investigation and depending on the interviews.
Thank you very much.
Can you just highlight how much this dollar amount was that they took? Like, it wasn't that much.
$113.23.
In the
In
Centex
gas.
incident or?
Yes, yes.
So somebody lost their life over $113. What's your message in that?
Well, you know what? Doesn't matter if it's $1 billion, doesn't matter what it is. When you look at that property or money, it's definitely not worth anyone losing their life or risking their life in this situation. Definitely not. But again, you don't want to demean from this individual who, at the time, was doing the right thing in her mind for the right reason. So you know what? Heroic by her to try and do that. Again, you can't compliment her enough for trying to do that, but she gave up her life trying to stop a crime.
No, you said that both of the gentlemen were cooperative in their interviews. Does this kind of seem like maybe these were just 2 young dudes who made a terrible mistake? Like, do you know anything about their demeanor or what they were like?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Ken,
Thank you.
would pay before you pump totally alleviate this kind of thing?
I wouldn't. I don't know if it would totally, but it would definitely be a deterrent, and definitely you would hope that something like this would never happen again. Like that's everyone's the goal.
In the absence of that sort of far-reaching legislation, what are maybe some other measures that folks that are looking at gas stations can do to maybe try to prevent something like this from happening?
You know, I can't speak for all the gas stations and the corporations involved, but I'm sure safety of the public, customers, safety of the employees is paramount, and I'm sure they're looking at ways of trying to prevent that. Most places do have camera and video, which in this case here was hugely part of the investigation to get that video. So I think there's steps by everyone to try and alleviate that.
So will you guys send out another press release once you're able to name them?
Yes.
Yes.